Hello everyone, welcome to AmpCode, and today we are going to talk about cloud. So you often heard about these terms like everything is on cloud, cloud is future, and you should know about cloud, blah blah. But do you really know what is cloud? Let's talk about it in this video and see why the heck it is very important. Remember those days when you had to store all your stuff such as videos, movies, songs on your phone or a computer? Everybody has to keep micro SD card into your phone for storing all this stuff. But nowadays you can access over billions of videos over YouTube, as well as you can listen to many songs over the Spotify, Apple Music or Google Music. And you can also binge watch your favorite series or movies on Netflix, Amazon and so many more platforms. Just you need a subscription and the internet service and everything is on your mobile. And one thing I forgot, you also should have a decent battery backup to binge watch your favorite movies. So why all of a sudden everything got changed? The short answer is cloud. But the main question still remains, what is cloud? So the cloud refers to the servers that can be accessed over the internet and the software and the databases that run on those servers. So for example, you have a hard disk which is located far away in a data center and you can access it over the internet. It's cool, isn't it? Similarly, cloud servers are located in a data center which is all over the world. So by using cloud computing, users and companies don't have to manage their physical servers themselves, or they don't have to manage the software or an application on their local machines. In the old times, every company had to manage their own physical servers, which has many disadvantages. It includes higher cost of infrastructure, higher maintenance cost, and the lower reliability. Talking about lower reliability, what if one of your servers burnt into the flames and transformed into a nasty silicon goo? There will be a potential loss of data present on that server. But in past, on-premise servers were the only option for you. But nowadays, cloud computing is a very good option. Now we will take a deep dive into the world of cloud and see how it works. The cloud enables the users to access the same files and applications from any device, because the computing and storage takes place on a server which is located into a data center. So this is the reason you can still log into your Instagram or a Facebook account from any device when your older device gets broken down, and you can find all your videos and music as well as the conversation history still there. It works the same way with the cloud email providers such as Gmail and Microsoft Office, and also same with the cloud storage providers such as Google Drive and Dropbox. For big businesses, switching to cloud computing reduces the IT cost and the overhead. For example, they don't need to manage and update their own servers. Instead, the cloud vendors will do that for them. This especially makes an impact on the small businesses which cannot afford their own infrastructure, but they can outsource their infrastructure needs affordably via the cloud. The cloud can also make it easier for companies to operate internationally, as their employees and users can access the data on any device at any time. Just they need the internet. The credit all goes to the cloud. Now we will see how the cloud computing actually works. Cloud computing is possible because of the technology called virtualization. Virtualization will allow us for creation of a simulated digital virtual computer which behaves same as a physical computer with their own hardware. The technical term for such a computer is a virtual machine. When implemented properly, virtual machine on the same host machine can be sandboxed from one another. So the files and application on a one virtual machine cannot be accessed by the another virtual machine which presents on the same host. Virtual machine also makes an efficient use of the hardware that are hosting them. By running many virtual machines at once, the one server can become many servers, and a data center may be a whole host of data centers which will be able to serve many organizations. Thus, the cloud providers can offer the use of their servers for far more customers at once, and they will be able to do that at a lower cost. Even if the one servers will go down, but the cloud servers in general will be available and you can access them anytime. Because cloud providers can back up their services on multiple machines and across many regions. Now the next question is how we can access the cloud. You can access the cloud services through a web browser or an application which is installed on your machine, which will connect to the cloud over the internet. That is through many interconnected networks regardless of the device that you're using. Now we will discuss about main service models of cloud computing and the difference between them. Have you ever heard about the IT peoples calling out the terms such as PaaS, IaaS or SaaS? If not, let me give you a background. So there are three service models of cloud computing. The first one is a IaaS, which is infrastructure as a service. Second one is a PaaS, which is platform as a service. And the third one is a SaaS, which is software as a service. Now let's discuss these models one by one. The first one will be the SaaS, which is software as a service. So instead of users installing the softwares on their local machines, SaaS applications are hosted on the cloud servers and you can access them over the internet. It is just like renting a house. The landlords maintain the house, but you can live in it just like you own it. The example of SaaS are the Google Workspaces, Cisco WebEx and the Salesforce. Before moving to the next topic, if you're liking this video, please hit a subscribe and ring the notification bell. It will motivate me to make such more interesting content for you. The next service is PaaS, which is platform as a service. In this service, companies don't pay for the hosted application. Instead, they pay for the things they require to build their application. So the PaaS vendors will give you the things which will be required for building an application such as development tools, infrastructure and an operating system over the internet. PaaS can be compared to the renting all the tools and services which are required to build a house instead of renting it. PaaS examples include Heroku and Microsoft Azure. And the last service is IaaS, which is infrastructure as a service. In this model, company pays for the infrastructure such as servers and the storage from cloud vendors to build their own applications. IaaS is just like company leasing a plot and they can do whatever they want on that plot. But they need to provide their own building materials and services. IaaS examples are AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, and the Google Computing Engine. Let's compare these models with one more interesting example. IaaS is just like a leased car, which you don't own it, but you can change it or modify it whenever you want. PaaS is just like a Uber, you just tell the driver where you want to go, but you don't drive the car yourself. SaaS is just like public transport. It has the pre-fixed routes and you have to share your ride with other people's. In contrast to the models that we have just discussed, which defines how the cloud service is provided to you, now we will discuss about the different cloud deployments, which defines where the clouds are and who can manage them. The first one is a private cloud. So the private cloud are defined as the cloud environments that are solely dedicated to a single user, where the environment runs behind that user or group firewall. Next one is a public cloud. So the public clouds are typically a cloud environment which are typically constructed from an IT infrastructure and they are not owned by the end users. Some of the largest public cloud providers are the Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud and the Microsoft Azure. The next one is a hybrid cloud. So the hybrid cloud is a combination of a private cloud and a public cloud, and you can use them according to the task you're performing on the cloud service. So for more confidential work, you will use the private cloud, and for the less confidential work, you can use the public cloud. It totally depends on the security you need on your task or a data. And the last one are multi-cloud. So the multi-clouds are made up of more than one cloud service and more than one cloud vendor, which is private or a public. All hybrid clouds are multi-clouds, but not all multi-clouds are hybrid clouds. Multi-clouds become hybrid cloud when the cloud services are interconnected through an integration. Confused? Don't worry, you will get a clear idea from our upcoming videos related to cloud. But wait a minute, We discuss a lot about cloud and how cloud computing works. But what about the advantages? So let's talk about the advantages now. So the first one is a reduced IT cost. So you are not managing your own servers and the infrastructure. The IT cost will definitely reduce as you don't need to maintain and update your own cloud servers on premise. The next advantage is scalability. So you can scale up or scale down your operations and storage according to your need very quickly. Next advantage is automatic updates. So you need to pay some service fee for that and you can get automatic updates on your virtual machines. That's it. I hope you got a clear idea about the cloud, the different service models as well as the deployment types, and also we have discussed some benefits of cloud. So if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell to get latest update. And I will see you in the next lecture.